Welcome back everybody. About 4 months ago I made a video on my supplement routine, and almost as soon as I posted it, things changed. I stopped taking a couple supplements, replaced some, and also started taking a couple new supplements. So in today's video I want to share with you the supplements I stopped taking and why I stopped taking them, as well as the ones I replaced and the couple new ones I started taking and why I started taking them. But before we get started, if you saw my other supplement video, if you haven't, I will link it down below. If you saw it, you know I take a bunch of supplements, but I truly believe that we need to get the bulk of our nutrients from real food. Supplements are just that. They are supplements. So we can't eat junk and then take a bunch of supplements. I tried it. It doesn't work. Also, if you're curious about any of the supplements I'm going to share, please check with your doctor first before you start taking them. And then lastly, and I feel I have to say this with every video over the next couple of months, if I turn into a sweaty mess throughout this video, I am really sorry. It is incredibly hot here. I am sitting here with an ice pack, which is already melting. I do have an air conditioner right behind me actually, but I can't turn it on because otherwise you won't be able to hear me. So if I turn into a sweaty mess, excuse me, please just bear with me. The first supplement I stopped taking is my liposomal melatonin, which I have been taking for a couple of years. I have it right here, but I have not taken this now for a couple of months. In my last supplement video, I had talked about how I had my melatonin tested and it had been low, which is why I started taking this. And melatonin, of course we know, is a hormone associated with control of the sleep-wake cycle. So recently, about 2 months ago, I had my melatonin retested. I took a test called the DoNotAge test, which is a very comprehensive hormone as well as hormone metabolite test. And this time my melatonin was really high. So obviously this works, but I don't need it any longer. But since quality of sleep is something I have worked on for quite a while now, I used to not be the best sleeper, but I have done a lot of things to improve the quality of my sleep, and taking melatonin had been one of them. But since my melatonin is now high, and melatonin is a hormone, I don't want to continue taking it and further imbalance things. So instead, I started taking glycine. And glycine is an amino acid as well as a neurotransmitter our body produces naturally. It has many different functions in the body, including it helps with collagen production. It can be both excitatory as well as inhibitory, meaning it can help stimulate our brain and nervous system, and it can also help calm it down. As I said, I started taking this to further improve the quality of my sleep. And the way glycine helps with that is that, first of all, it helps lower body temperature. And a slight drop in body temperature is part of the body's physical progression into sleep. So glycine helps lower body temperature and therefore helps us fall asleep. Secondly, glycine helps with serotonin production. And serotonin, of course, we know as our happy hormone, our happy neurotransmitter. It plays a significant role in mood as well as sleep. So glycine helps with serotonin production, which plays a significant role in sleep. So I have been taking this since I stopped taking the melatonin, so for about 2 months. I take 3 grams or 3,000 milligrams. Studies show that between 1 and 3 grams of glycine can help improve the quality of our sleep. A supplement I replaced for a similar one is my vitamin D3 plus K2. I was taking this one right here. This is a vegan form of vitamin D3 plus K2, And I took this one for quite a while. The reason I started taking it is that I had my vitamin D tested and it was low. So I took the supplement for probably about a year, and recently we tested my vitamin D and it was still low. So this one did not work for me. So instead I'm taking this now. This is another vegan vitamin D3 plus K2. And in vegan vitamin Ds, the vitamin D comes from lichen, which is a fungus, versus normally vitamin D comes from lanolin. I've only been taking this for a couple of months and I have not been retested. Once I do, I will let you know if this works better. But if you are thinking of taking a vitamin D supplement, please get tested first. Vitamin D, even though we call it a vitamin, is a hormone. So it's not a good idea to just start taking it. If you think you're low, go see your doctor. It's a simple blood test. And if you're low, you can always supplement. But if you're supplementing, you want to make sure to also take vitamin K2. Many supplements now combine the two. Vitamin D increases calcium in the body, which is a good thing. But vitamin K2 then shuttles that calcium to the bones. So vitamin D3 and K2 work together to metabolize calcium. So it is really important to take them both together. But as I said, if you think you're low, get tested first. So as I said, I have been taking this for a couple of months. It's too soon to tell, but I will keep you posted. These are capsules, and one capsule contains 5,000 IUs or 125 milligrams of vitamin D3 and also 100 milligrams of vitamin K2. So currently I take 2 of these, so I take 10,000 IUs just to get that vitamin D back up. A supplement I reintroduced into my supplement routine is glutathione. I have been taking glutathione on and off for the last decade. I have even given myself glutathione injections, but recently I made a video on glutathione and it reminded me of the importance of it. Glutathione is also known as the master antioxidant. Our body produces it naturally, but as we age, as with so many things, our production of glutathione slows down, and then stress, environmental pollutions, even UV radiation further depletes glutathione. So I started taking liposomal glutathione, and actually in the video I just talked about, I show you how to make this. So if you have not seen the video, I will link it down below. So liposomal glutathione is something I take about 4 or 5 days a week. I don't take it daily because we're not quite sure if it is a good idea to take it daily. Some people say there is a feedback loop, meaning since the body naturally produces glutathione, if we keep putting it into the body's natural production might slow. Some people say that doesn't happen, but just to be on the safe side, I take this about 4 or 5 days a week. And if you are thinking of taking glutathione, you want to make sure to either take liposomal glutathione or you can get injections. But if you take a glutathione capsule, it easily gets destroyed by our stomach acid and we're basically wasting our money. So as I said, if you are thinking of taking glutathione, liposomal, in my humble opinion, is the best form to take. And in the video I just mentioned, I also talk about things you can do naturally to improve your body's production of glutathione. Another supplement I replaced with a similar one is the probiotic I was taking. I talked about in my other supplement video how I had to go on a round of antibiotics because I had been bitten by a tick. So I started taking a probiotic just to make sure to replace some of that good bacteria in my gut. I was taking this one right here, and honestly, I didn't notice any difference with it. So I finished it up and did not repurchase it. But just recently at a store, I picked up this one, and I have to say I really like this one. This is by Garden of Life, and it is their Fit Biotic. It has 14 probiotic strains and 50 billion per serving. It is soy-free, dairy-free, gluten-free, and it comes in these little individual packages. So what I do is I snip one open, pour it in my mouth, and then drink a bunch of water. What I have noticed with these is that my digestion, which is already quite good, has gotten even better. So this is one of the few probiotics I've actually ever noticed a difference with. But as I said earlier, just as it is important to get the bulk of our nutrients from real food, I also think it is important to get our pre- and probiotics from real food to make sure we get a nice variety and not just 14 strains from a store-bought package. So eating plenty of fiber-rich vegetables and eating fermented foods such as yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut, drinking kombucha will help keep that gut microbiome nice and healthy. But if you need a probiotic, this one, like I said, is one of the few I've actually ever noticed a difference with. So I will definitely repurchase this and have it on hand just in case. And then a supplement I have been taking for about a year now and do not want to be without is NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide. And NMN is an NAD precursor. I have talked about NAD, NMN, and also NR, which is nicotinamide riboside, which is also an NAD precursor, in many videos. I will link all of them down below. But in my last supplement video, I was taking this right here. This is by Alive by Science, and it is the Liposomal NMN. This also has TMG, trimethylglycine, in it. But a couple of months ago, I started taking an NMN powder by DoNotAge, and I don't think the camera is going to focus in because it's a white package. But the reason I switched, two reasons. First of all, DoNotAge reached out to me and asked me would I want to try some of their supplements. And I said yes, because I like to try different brands to be able to give you options. And secondly, I wanted to increase my NMN to 1 gram, which is supposedly what David Sinclair takes. He doesn't make any suggestions, but supposedly he takes 1 gram. So when I was taking this, I was taking 250 milligrams, and taking 1 gram of this would have been quite expensive. Alive by Science also has NMN powder, but as I said, I wanted to try this one. And by the way, both of these, Alive by Science, DoNotAge, are great companies. Both have pure NMN. They both do third-party testing, so you can't go wrong with either one. But as I said, for the last couple of months, I have been using this, and I have been using 1 gram. But as I mentioned earlier, this also has TMG, trimethylglycine. This, however, is the old formulation. It is no longer available. So if you take the new formulation from Alive by Science, it looks like this now. And of course, this is still liposomal NMN, but instead of the TMG, the trimethylglycine, this now contains resveratrol, which is a great supplement. But just be aware, if you used to take this one and now take this one, this no longer contains TMG. However, when you take an NAD precursor, such as NMN or NR, it is a good idea to add some TMG, some trimethylglycine, to aid in the numerous body processes that require methylation. TMG is a methyl donor, and it is thought that if we take high amounts of vitamin B3, and both NMN and NR are forms of vitamin B3, that it can possibly deplete methyl donors. So taking a methyl donor such as TMG and or other methyl donors such as methylcobalamin, methylfolate, or other methyl donors of your choice is a good idea if you're taking an NAD precursor. So for that reason, I also started taking TMG, and I take 1 gram with my 1 gram of NMN. Another supplement DoNotAge sent me when they sent me the NMN is this right here. And unfortunately, I don't think the camera is going to focus in again, but this is Quercetin. And honestly, when they first sent me this, I thought, what am I supposed to do with quercetin? But then I did some research and learned that quercetin is a very powerful antioxidant. Where we live here in southern Italy, in Naples, it is very polluted. So I figured I can use all the antioxidants I can get. So I started taking this, and the first day I took this, I have been having problems with my sinuses for the last 2 decades or so. Every time I lay down to go to sleep, they pluck up, and eventually it wakes me up because I can't breathe. I have tried everything, all kinds of nose sprays and supplements, and nothing has worked. So the first day I started taking this, my sinuses that night were clear. I slept like a baby. Of course, I thought it was a coincidence, but every night since, I have been using this for about 3 months now, and I have talked about this in another video. But for the last 3 months, every night, my sinuses are clear. It is beautiful. So quercetin can also be very helpful with allergies. And honestly, I did not think I had allergies, but this is doing wonders for my sinuses. And this will definitely stay in my supplement routine. In fact, I have already repurchased this. So if you have allergies, give quercetin a try. Like I said, it does wonders for me. And then another supplement DoNotAge sent me is one I was actually really excited about. And that is high molecular weight hyaluronic acid. I actually made a whole video on hyaluronic acid. If you have not seen it, I will link it down below. But hyaluronic acid is something we oftentimes just think of as a topical in skincare. But hyaluronic acid is responsible for quite a few things, including joint health, brain health, and studies show that high molecular weight hyaluronic acid can arrest the growth of cancerous tumors. There is a rodent called the naked mole rat, which is quite cute. And the naked mole rat lives to be 30 years or older and never has cancer or any other age-related diseases. And scientists concluded that this is due to the very high amounts of high molecular weight hyaluronic acid the naked mole rat produces. So when I heard about that, like I said, I was really excited to try this. Now, I do think I see a tiny bit of a difference in my skin. I have been using this for also about 3 months now. It's a tiny difference, but I think I can see it. But as I said, hyaluronic acid, especially high molecular weight hyaluronic acid, is responsible and beneficial for so many things. So I'm hoping this does beautiful things for me, which I can't actually see. So this is another supplement that is definitely staying in my routine. In fact, I also already repurchased this. If you're thinking of taking a hyaluronic acid supplement, make sure it is high molecular weight hyaluronic acid. High molecular weight hyaluronic acid is anti-inflammatory, versus low molecular weight hyaluronic acid can be inflammatory. And we know inflammation leads to disease. So make sure if you're thinking of taking a hyaluronic acid supplement, make sure it is high molecular weight hyaluronic acid. And then lastly, at the risk of sounding like a DoNotAge infomercial, as I said, they did send me some of these supplements, but several of them I have already repurchased with my own money and will continue to do so. But another supplement they had sent me is this right here. This is Fisetin, and Fisetin is a plant flavonoid. It is a powerful antioxidant. It is also a senolytic compound. As we age, we collect senescent cells. A senescent cell is a cell that ages and permanently stops dividing but it does not die. So over time, these senescent cells can collect in the tissues of our body, which of course is not a good thing. So senolytic compounds such as Fisetin go in and destroy these senescent cells. So this is something I started taking about 2 months ago, and I only take this for 3 days out of the months. So I take it on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of every month. So Fisetin is something I started taking, but only take for 3 days out of the months. Aside from these changes, everything else stayed the same. I still, of course, take my Liposomal Vitamin C. I have made several videos on Liposomal Vitamin C, including one where I show you how to make this. So this is something I have been taking for many years now, and it has done wonders for me. I also still take my food-based 1-a-day multivitamin. This is just basically insurance. I also still take, and I have talked about this in several videos, my Biosil. And Biosil, this is the liquid form. It also comes in capsules. This is a silicone supplement, and silicone is a cofactor needed to make collagen. So this can be beneficial for hair, skin, and nails. And then I also still take my 2 forms of vitamin B12. This is Methylcobalamin. This is adenosine and hydroxycobalamin. Both of these are sublingual, and both of these are vitamin B12 in its already activated form. So the body doesn't have to take cobalamin and turn it into its active form. So I take both of these, but not both together. Some days I take this, some days I take this. And the reason I take vitamin B12 is that I am vegan, so I don't get any B12 in my diet. And then lastly, I also still take my ashwangandha. And ashwangandha is an Indian herb known to be an adaptogenic, so it can help with stress. And I think that's all. No, I also still take my Calm Magnesium, which is a magnesium powder. It is magnesium citrate, I believe. If it's not magnesium citrate, I will put it right here. But that is something I have been taking for quite a while now. I feel that it helps calm me down at night and helps with sleep. So these are all the things I either stopped taking, switched out, or the few new supplements I started taking. And as I said earlier, if you're interested in any of these, please talk to your doctor about it first. So I hope this video was helpful. Any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I always love to hear from you. And let me know if you take any of these things, and if so, have you noticed the difference? Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate the time you spent with me. Until next time, bye.